Hello, hello. Audio check. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we're good. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. It is open reviews, so if you guys would like me to take a look at your games, I can do so. Hello. Happy to have you. Happy that the classy approach is helping you. I've actually been awesome. I've actually been wondering if I should record another classy approach series because it's been so many years. I'm wondering if I should like classy approach series 2025, which is also a lot of work. A lot of recording. I don't know. On the one hand, it sounds fun. On the other hand, it sounds like a lot of work. Okay, we got a
Review
Fox
started.
game at 10Q. We are white. Okay. Did you consider pincering here? Because if we pincer like this, and we're also extending from our corner enclosure, while also putting pressure on the stone. And if we do this, it's very easy to play something like this, or like this. The idea here is that the bottom side's already finished thanks to this stone right here. So if the bottom side is finished, then as black, I want to take away your extension, in theory. So sometimes the pincer is better if it's the open side. So I kind of like black a little bit for this choice. You could also pincer like this if you want to be a little bit tighter. Ooh, we got several games lined up. That one is not correct. Is it private? It might be private. You might have to download and re-upload it. I cannot open that one. This one's a little bit slow. There's the bottom side's done. There's 2 stones on the 3rd line. Hello, Ginger. No, Tzion. I can't open Tzion's game because it's not allowed. So it must be private. Yeah, so Tzion, your game is private, so I can't open it. So here, the open side is going to be the right side. So you could approach, you could play a wedge, anything like that. So this move is not the big side. Okay. I don't recommend this because if we just play out a normal variation, let's keep it simple and play like that. Or actually, even simpler, we just do this. Ah, fine. The reason is now this corner enclosure is getting an extension and this wall is getting an extension. So this feels like a double meaning for black. Versus if you play here, then it's less of a double meaning. So you could play, this is the simple one. You could play like this. And here it can get complicated. Yeah, it can get complicated. But that's an idea. This one, they might also pincer you. Then there's choices. Like, there's always choices. You could also pincer back. Like this. Nope. Still nope. I think just download the SGF and then go to Tools, SGF Library, and upload the game again. I think that's going to be the best bet. Anyway, I think the first thing we can see here is probably just have more Joseki options for you. Just learn more patterns. Okay, good. So this is good for white. This is not really a thing. I'm not sure where you got this move. So once we're out of the opening, so I would go ahead and exchange this just to make sure that black can't surround this position. Once we're out of the opening, what we want to look for is the center. So we want to look for the center squares. Da-da-da, da-da-da. All right, so we have 4 center squares we want to look at. And then we want to say which one is being developed the most. So white plays right here and black plays right here. This one's kind of cut in half. This one looks to be shared. This one looks promising. And this one looks promising for black. So I would say it's between the top left and the bottom right. Got it. There we go. I would say it's between the top left and the bottom right. So we have to decide which one's bigger. And so let's look at the top left. If you want to develop the top left, a common thing to do is caps and shoulder hit. So I think a shoulder hit makes a lot of sense here. Shoulder hit, jump there, and then sideways jump is the first pattern that you should learn. So you're kind of developing this area. You could also look at this. This is possible, or maybe shoulder hit again. And if black does this, you can just cap. So it looks like you're building something, right? So that's an idea. That's the first idea. But then we also have to think about black. So black can also build with a shoulder hit. I want to say black's looks bigger. Okay, so that means we have decided that this square is bigger than this square. So if theirs is bigger, let's go deal with it. The way we can deal with it is caps and shoulder hits. So we have a cap right here, we have a shoulder hit right here, we have a capping move right here. We have invasion right here, but that's not 10Q. So I would say the simple one is going to be just reduce. So we can invade. We can invade as an option, but we can also just reduce as an option. Depends on what we want to do. So that would be a way to destroy the square. You're not expecting anything. You're preventing right now. That is a preventative measure. You could go right here as well, trying to push the position down. And then this also looks to maybe develop the bottom left square. Maybe, you don't know. Yeah, there's lots of interesting ideas, but basically you want to be looking at these squares. Which square can be developed? And then which square is the biggest? You have to look for both colors. Which square is the biggest to develop for both colors? And then build yours or reduce/invade theirs, depending on what's happening. So when you play this one, it looks like you're building the top left square, but because you didn't shoulder hit or anything, I can ignore it. And what am I going to do? I'm going to just reduce it immediately. So what can that look like? I could just play a capping move. That's a simple way to do it. I could play a shoulder hit. Now, what center did you get? You didn't really get anything. Another option is to attach right here. This can destroy a little bit as well, maybe even right here. That would be something possible. We could cap right here, and if they do this, we could go in. If I had this move, if I had this exchange, then I could also potentially attach right here. And if you try to keep your area, then I can build mine right while reducing yours, or just reduce yours while threatening to build mine. These are all ideas that you can consider. Okay, so here you're getting framework. So they are reducing, but they're reducing with some bad shape. You see how they have cutting points and stuff? That's why the shoulder hit is a little bit better. Immediately we want to think about the cutting point, right? So let's figure out why this isn't working. First off, does our cutting point work? Yes, it does. Okay, so we might have to fix first. Fix and then look at their cutting point, which they fix. And if they don't, maybe we can cut. Okay, so this has to do with cutting points. We could choose to do this as well. And then if they do this, this can get a little complicated, but it's possible. Maybe you can't do 7. This. I don't know. I'm playing around with some moves, but the idea is you can bully the liberties here while watching your cutting point. So I think this is going to be the answer because it's the simplest, and then you're aiming at their cutting point. So they fix, you fix, they fix, and then you can take away their escape route on the right, or you can take away the escape route to the left while trying to make some influence, or maybe even make some points. But the idea is you're threatening to surround somehow. Okay. This is possible. It fixes the cutting point. It's not my favorite move, but it's something. Black still has a cutting point right here, so we can keep an eye on this. But right now, black can just give up the stone and fix. So it's not the best cutting point in the world. I want to say the bottom right is where we want to be. It's hard to surround this right now. You're not cuttable. You don't have to respond. Yeah, there's no cut. There's nothing there. You didn't have to respond. Good. This is good shape, but black can just give up the 2 stones and play over here. So I'll always make sure you're threatening a group and not just 2 stones. This is shape, but what are we doing here? Yeah, I think the bottom right. So your middle game, I think, is the learn about the squares for the middle game. And then the opening, have more opening patterns. Hi, Cat. Can I help you? I think that's going to be the 2 big things from this game. You just have to get in my way, don't you? He's sitting on the mouse. Do you have to be in my way? The cat is just sitting on the mouse like, I don't care. You don't need this. Okay, you need to move. You're fluffy and fun to pet, but you gotta move. Don't you come over here now. Now I have another cat on my desk. Okay, they're off my desk. I can get back to playing Go and reviewing. Let's see. Just jump. Jump. It's fine for you. This was their area, and it's now neutral. So this is good for you. I think that's enough for this game. I want to try to get through all 3 games within the hour. So I think we'll stop here, and hopefully you found this review helpful. Okay, this one, I believe we're reviewing for white. It was white, correct? Yeah. Okay. This one's not normal. We're 6Q, so I'm wondering why you played this one. We should know that it's like A, B, or C, or D. These are the normal patterns. So wondering why you played here, because you're not playing as efficient as the patterns can be. You go high because you are already low right here, and you want 3rd line, 4th line combination. And then later, you can make a nice enclosure. But you want high when you already have the stone right here. You can even go like this and then block, just to build this area even more. Okay. Oh, this move. This move. The stronger you get, the more important this move is. But the weaker you are, the worse this move is. So are we strong enough to use this move? I don't like this left side for white. Yeah, I think, okay, the reason I don't like it probably is because this is so flat and inefficient. And I'm trying to fix it and I can't.
Cian Cannon just followed.
Thank you for our follow, Zion. Yeah, the left side is very flat, so it's hard to fix it. And what's interesting is you have 2 3rd line moves, but you're going for the influence right here instead of going for more territory here. Yeah, it's a very flat position. Wait, so you do know this one? Then why in the world did you play over here? No, you can go in the corner. The corner is valuable. It also opens up potential stuff right here. So there's potential for invasions right here. Yeah, there's a lot of potential right here. So this isn't just the corner, but it also leaves some Aji on top. Some potential on top. So you're imagining this, but they didn't play that. So you gotta do the proper follow-up. Since we can't double because there's not enough liberties, I think jump. But let's see, what is the biggest square? So we're looking at the squares again. I can't draw straight lines. Looking at the center squares. This one is shared. This one is shared. This one is a little more in white's favor, but shared, and this one is shared. Oh, this is such a boring board. Maybe here. and say, hey, you're either going to give me influence, and now I have control of some squares, or you're going to lose the top side. Hello, click the banana. I wanted to say banana. This is a hard board to make a decision on because there's no obvious framework. So the way I arrived at this move is I start looking for anything that might be Sente. So what can be Sente? I thought about this, but it's just not quite Sente enough maybe, but it might be fine. And if they play right here, then you can start building this section, but then they can reduce it like that, which is annoying. So I thought maybe this is this top side and this right side can still be potential points. I thought about building it up like this, but I wasn't sure. I don't know. I'm between this move and this move, maybe. I don't know. I like being the attacker, so maybe I'll choose this move. Because I like being the attacker. But yeah, hard board to make a decision on. Yeah. I don't think I would play b3 after playing f4. I don't think I would play it anymore. Ooh, this is a bad decision by black. The reason is black spent 3 moves to build this section, so black should be consistent with building the section. But instead, black said, I'm not going to let you have it. Well, then both get destroyed, and black spent 3 moves on neutral points now. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay. This is a big move. I'm looking at this section over here now, though. What about something like that? It's starting to look pretty big. This is also kind of big, though. But then I can do this and start building my own section. So I want to say this is probably bigger. That is not the timing for that. I think this one is where the framework is. Because you can imagine like a line right here, and all of a sudden black's getting this chunk. I want to say this one. And then if they defend, then start trying to surround this group and build like that. Yeah, now we're looking at a position. That one is not Sente, so you need to build over here. This one doesn't have a follow-up. You can block. That's your base, so it's okay. All right, target acquired. So where's the profit? We have a couple ideas. There's weakness over here, so we can try to launch a double attack where we can go that way or that way. We can try to do a double attack. We can go this way while looking at an invasion up here. Those are my 2 initial ideas. Okay, looks like you're going for a double attack. This leaves an escape route right here. Is that fine? I don't know. I don't think so. What about here, here, here? That looks a little bit better. Yeah, now they don't have the escape route. This actually looks quite dangerous for black. Yeah, I think 1, 2, 3. That way they can't just play here. I would like to see a follow-up over here. Because you need to make sure that you get over here first. Otherwise, if black gets both, then you've gotten nothing. Okay, so black should have gotten over here first because he played several moves that were not Sentai. Good, and cut. Very good. Yes. Maybe. I'm looking at this move because if they push, I just go up. My concern is how much can I deal with this? This is my concern. It's like, how dangerous is this? That is not important right now. Yeah. The black just gave up this entire chunk. Crazy. You don't need to do this. There's no reason to do this. You're just giving black more stones. What is next? Is there any way that this can live? I don't think so. Is there any problems in here? Maybe with the 2 cutting points, but... Hello, Dr. Leadfoot. 07. 07 is fine. Oh. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what value these stones are getting. I think probably start in-game. Maybe start in-game. Okay. There we go. Nobi is Sentai. Ane is Gote. Usually. Is this one Sentai? This always trips me up. Okay, let's say I do something else. Clamp here. Okay, yeah, you're right. It is Sentai. You're right. Okay. You can keep going. Yeah, you can keep going. This one is not Sentai because black can ignore now. So you want this one. And now you can go do whatever. Try to keep Sentai as long as you can. Okay, your in-game looks pretty decent. Did black resign? Yeah. Your in-game looks decent. Your attacking is decent. Keep practicing with that. I think your opening is a little bit behind your level. So you can improve your opening patterns. Try dang, I don't have a command for it. Try looking up some opening patterns on here. No. That's not what I copied. Copy this, paste that. Try looking up some opening patterns on Wall Theory. This has a pro game database. So these are like where pros played. And then you can play out your opening and then see what the pros played throughout history that's in this database. I think that would be very helpful. Yeah. And hopefully you found the review helpful. All right, making good time on the games.
Review started.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so you are black, I'm assuming? Okay. I think it's better to learn this third line, fourth line, third line pattern first. This one kind of does the same thing. It's just a little further from this stone. So I think this one being one line, one line, one line right here, one line right here. A little bit better combination, but it's fine. Yeah, that's a giant rank gap. You gotta play people your level too. Which H5, H5. This is on the second line. Second line is endgame, or for stealing bases. You want to develop, so you want to play fourth line, because the fourth line is the line of development. We are developing because we have 2 third line friendlies, so we want to develop when we have support on both sides. The third line goes up to the fourth line and then back down to the third line. If you tried to play here, it's safer, but it's less value because third line is for safety and settling. So, and this is third line, third line, third line, which is possible, but not as efficient. Okay, so this one's not bad, but typically I want this the kind of shape that you should probably learn because it'll translate better to the bigger boards. Okay, touch. When you touch, you stretch. Okay, touch, stretch until 5Q. If you do this, they're going to cross-cut you, and now it's complicated, and it's very easy to make a mistake. Just get in the habit, when one stone touches one stone, stretch. When one-on-one, just stretch it up, and now you're connected, you have lots of liberties, and it'll be a much easier fight. And then on the next move, you can choose to play the Hane or the Bend. All right, so when you touch one versus one, try to stretch. It's much safer. Okay, so this is a go problem. The rule of thumb is in a crosscut, never Atari. 90% of the time. 90% of the time, you don't want to Atari. You want to stretch at A, B, C, or D. Okay, so you want to stretch from the crosscut. However, because you are close to the edge, there's actually a go problem here. If you push it to the edge, you actually trap it against the edge. So this is third line cutting points, which technically is above this level. Third line cutting points is more 13 by 13 and more like 15 to 19Q. So when you're on the third line and they cut you, when you have a cutting stone on the third line, you want to see if you can trap it against the edge first. Yeah, there are single-digit Qs that don't know this for some reason. When you're on the second line cuts and third line cuts, the cutting stones on the second line, cutting stones on the third line, you want to see if you can push it to the edge first. And if you can, just capture the cutting stone. If not, you go to your middle game basics. Your middle game basics is the stretch. The problem with the Atari is when you play that, they save themselves, and now you have the problem of a cutting point at A, and your B stone has low liberties. So now you have 2 problems that you got to fix, and it's really hard. Oh boy, we're getting into the most important thing for you to master. Cutting points. You need to master this as fast as possible. So this is second line cuts. So when I cut right here, you save yourself, and then I get this guy. And this guy's trapped against the edge. Okay? If I cut this second line move, the same thing, but I get this guy. So this is going to be the first thing you have to master is the second line cutting points. This is the first thing you got to master on the small board. So The hint that there's a cutting point is when you are playing the Hane. The Hane is when you are playing a bend around a stone. When you bend around a stone, the Hane or the bend has a cutting point. Okay, there are certain shapes that have cutting points, certain shapes don't. The Hane has a cutting point, so once you play it and they respawn, you need to potentially, usually, fix it. Not always, but usually you want to watch your cutting points. So make sure that you master when you play the Hane that you think about these cutting points next. If you ignore, then you can be punished. Looks like that's what white did. Unfortunately, these are trapped against the edge. There's no way to save them. But that has to do with the fact that you played a crosscut, which is complicated, into the Ataris for the crosscut, which is usually the wrong answer, into ignoring 2 cutting points. So it's natural. That's 3 mistakes in a row. So it's natural something's going to die. So there's 3 mistakes in a row to learn from here. Another shape that we want to look at is the 1-point jump when there is a stone looking at walking through the 1-space jump. Give me my pen. When there's a stone looking at the 1-space jump, fix it. That is also another cutting point. If you play like this, potentially, they can push and cut through. I know strong players that this is not the case, but just keep in mind that we're building habits right now. We're not playing perfectly right now. So right now, I want you to build a habit of a peeped 1-point jump you want to fix. In this case, we want to fix here. We can also fix this one because this is also another peeped 1-point jump. So learning what shapes are cuttable, what shapes are not cuttable, and fixing your cutting points. Move around the board while watching your cutting points. That's going to be the first lesson. Block is good. Here we can play the Hane because we need to block white from coming in and under. Because this is our territory, this is our house. We don't want white to come under and into our house. So we need to block white, and the way we can block white is to play the Hane. Now, I did say 1 versus 1, you want to stretch, right? So 1 versus 1, you want to stretch. But this stone is not by itself because it has 2 friends right here, which creates the tiger's mouth, and the tiger's mouth is strong. So because it's a tiger's mouth and not 1 versus 1, we can play the Hane. It's hard to find these exceptions, but I would say when in doubt, stretch. That way you don't get cut. When in doubt, stretch. But in this case, you can play right here because this second line cut does not work. Hopefully that makes sense. But when they fix, then you do want to fix your second line cut. You can Atari first, but fix the second line cut. Okay, fix your pre 1-point jump. It's very good. Block your base. Block your foundation. The entire group relies on this foundation. If you lose this foundation, your group is floating in the center. Floating groups die very quickly on small boards. Okay, so make sure that you don't lose your foundation of your group. So blocking your foundation is good. That was fine to try. It doesn't work, but we don't know that it doesn't work yet. So trying to cut your opponent, I think is perfectly fine for learning purposes, because you want to learn how their cutting points work and how your cutting points work. So I think even though it was a mistake, I think that one's fine to try because it's a learning experience. This one, you need to understand that this is dead as it stands because there's nowhere to go on the edge. So this is second line cutting point getting trapped against the edge. Nope, fix your Ataris. Just do that for now. Don't worry about it. Just fix your Ataris for now. That is mean. 6Q, whatever. 6Q is being mean to you. This is not a move that you can understand right now. Just, there's no way that you can learn this right now. this is the answer, but there's no way you can learn that right now. There's so many layers to it. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's just your opponent's playing something that's way above your level, unfortunately. This is not a second line cut because white is connected all throughout here. This is not a second line cut. Yeah, so this is learning. Oh, no, don't lose your phone. You're in Atari. Don't lose it. So I want to say there's probably 3 things to take from this. 1, don't miss your Ataris. 2, learn about the second line cuts that come from the Hane, the bend shape. And 3, learn about the one space jumps being peeped, or when the enemy has a stone that's looking at walking through the one space jump. Okay? That's 3 shapes. Learn something from every game, and I think it's good. And here we just learned 3 things from this game. So I think already this is very valuable. Yeah, hopefully you found this helpful. Hey, thank you for the sub. 20 out of 20. All right, so we have a lesson giveaway. We met our 20 goal. So
We
whoever
reached our
says
subs goal of 20. Thank you, everyone.
whoever says canon first gets a free lesson. Thank you for the sub. Oh, Zion. All right, Zion. Just send me a message on Discord, and I will give you I will give you a link to my calendar, and you can schedule a lesson. Yeah, congrats on getting the free lesson. So good. Yeah, just mention if your username not the same, then just mention that this is your username. Yeah, that's the cheapest lesson that you will ever get. $5 lesson. For those who are interested in lessons, awesome. I do offer lessons. I teach Go for a living, so this is actually my job, this and Symmetra Dragon. So if you're interested in lessons, please check it out. Oh, and for those interested in Go puzzles, I build SymmetraDragon.com. It is a premium Go problem website. There are 2 aspects that I think are really useful. One is the campaign, where I bundle problems together in sets to help you learn different patterns. And so, Zion, since you are at the lower level, the first section of the campaign is free. So you can actually do this right now. And then you can work through your cutting points, so like connect and cut. So let's go through cut. And you can work on identifying all these disconnect points and make sure that you understand this perfectly. Here's a second line cut. Right, you need to this needs to be solvable at a glance. Right. Here's another second line cut. And this is actually free. This section's free. Another second line cut. So I think work your way through this campaign, and I think it'd be very helpful. Second line cut, push it to the edge. Second line cut, push it to the edge. Awesome. Puzzle path is a very... That is wrong. This is the correct answer, but it's fine. It's just saying, hey, capture the stones. Because it's a beginner problem. It's like, hey, capture the stone. Capture the stone. But technically, my answer was better. That's fine. That's amusing. Like, hey, we want to teach you how to capture the stone. We don't want to teach you the best one. We're just teaching you how to capture the stone. All right. Yeah, the puzzle path is a relaxing, go at your own pace. Campaign is structured puzzle sets. And then for those who are interested, we also have categories of Puzzle Rush. Puzzle Rush is where you do as many problems as you can in 3 minutes. And then categories, groups puzzles by different categories that you can practice. So that is the bread and butter of Sumeco Dragon. Is it's all organized and structured for however you want to do Go puzzles. Yeah, hopefully you guys will check that out, and hopefully it'll be interesting. All right, we have a little bit more time. Yeah, Puzzle Rush was based off of the chess Puzzle Rush. Because I saw Puzzle Rush on chess, and I was like, we need that for Go. Yeah, and also Go Congress, the sponsor of today's stream. Almost forgot. Go Congress, the biggest Go event in the United States and in Europe. It is a get-together of hundreds of Go players. If you are interested in attending an in-person event with hundreds of Go players, please be sure to check it out. Where is their video? Let's look at their video real quick. Uh-oh. The buttons didn't work. Okay, it's loading. Introductory video. Video time.
This is the U.S. Go Congress, the largest and most comprehensive Go event in North America. Every year, nearly 500 amateur players of all skill levels gather to compete in the thrilling U.S. Open tournament. At the same time, the prestigious Masters tournament hosts dozens of professionals.
I have been to this many times, and I'm planning to go again this year.
There's something for players of all levels. 9x9 and 13x13 small board challenges.
If you have any questions about Go Congress, also let me know. I can help you navigate the
prizes and recognition await the winners at the closing awards dinner. But the true highlight is the welcoming and vibrant community. Reconnect with old Go friends and make new ones from across the world. Attend inspiring lectures by seasoned professionals, teachers, and streamers.
Am I playing in the open?
Test your skills against your favorite pros in simultaneous exhibition games.
It depends on
each year,
when they want me to work, because I can get comped if I work, and I would rather get comped and work than to play the open.
Austin, Texas.
Because my priority is going to be doing the teaching and lectures.
Celebrated for its unique food scene,
but
legendary live
I think I should be able to play in the open if I just work in the evenings.
Explore the surrounding area's many attractions for some unforgettable sightseeing memories. It's all happening July 12th.
It's so exhausting. Oh my gosh, 3-hour-long games.
This one is going to be
They are exhausting games. I am getting too old for Go Congress, I feel like. But I need to do it. It's fun. It's exhausting and it's hard to lose, but it is fun and a really great event. Yeah, hopefully I will see you guys there. Yeah, the open section is 90 minutes per side and then overtime. So it goes over 3 hours for my matches. Yeah, there's nothing like the in-person Go tournaments. It's hard to compare. You can't compare online to in-person tournaments.
Review started.
Online is great, and I'm happy that it exists, but you can't really replace in-person. Really? Okay. Very influence heavy, but okay. Interesting. Probably you want to do this move. If you go here, it looks like you got Hanade at the head of 2. So your shape looks a little bit awkward. Yeah, and black should go right here to unsettle you. Okay, it is an opening. Here is a little bit better. This is because we're also looking at black's base while protecting your base. So because it has to do with bases, it's fine. Don't push from behind. You want to play a knight's move to get ahead, as long as the cutting point is fine. As long as the cutting point is fine, you want to play a knight's move to get ahead. Okay. This one's a little tricky. You can actually play the double Hane here, because if they want these stones, you just let them have it. Because it allows you to build even more center for just 6 points. So you can actually play the double Hane here. You just sacrifice the 3 stones to get even more influence. Not a huge deal though, very minor. This is not consistent. I want to see more development. I want to see more development of this. This is what you've been working on. So this is more consistent. But here you're actually pushing black into the center that you've been building. Cap. Perfect. Surround. Technically here is better. Okay, looking good, looking good. Surround. Surround, very good. Don't let them connect, very good. Okay, what? It just died. Okay, whatever. Okay, you played perfect and your opponent screwed it up. That works out. If we're looking at the right side, probably just invade. We can play a shoulder hit, but typically shoulder hit the 4th line is a little sketch. Hello, Druid. Welcome, welcome. Nice cut. I think this is okay. The right side's getting really big, though. Thank you for the follow.
Just followed.
What about here? I think 10, 11, 12th line territory is probably good enough. Unfortunately, this is the last one because I have a lesson in 10 minutes. So unfortunately, you joined a little late. I'll refund the points though. I'm sorry, I only had an hour to do reviews. Someone else is actually paid for the second hour. Why not? Why do you have to respawn there? You could refund them. Yeah, totally. Careful, you're giving a lot of territory. Yeah, I don't know. You're getting 12th line, but they're getting 6th line. Okay, so you just crushed them. You don't need to respond to that either. Because if they cut you, you just cut back. You're playing too fast again. Typically Thursdays and Fridays. Wednesdays sometimes if I want to stream the NAOL, which I probably should. And then Mondays or Tuesdays are rare. But typically Thursdays and Fridays. And then usually about 1 p.m. CST. Sometimes on Fridays I'll do 2 if we're working a little bit later. But usually Thursdays and Fridays. Anyone else the 13th, I think. 19th. Anyone else should be the 19th, I believe. Is the first time I'm teaching. You don't have to do any of this. It's already dead. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You gotta go here. Because this pushes Sente. Uh-oh. Oops. Yeah, when you win the game, it's very easy to start rushing it to the end. Backseater extraordinaire. I'll have to remember that. I'll copy that, but I'll have to remember that in like an hour. I still have another hour of teaching. Wow, both players missed it. No, I have a lesson, but I'm going to be streaming the lesson. I just can't do more game reviews because I have a lesson. Oh boy. Very close to letting it live. Very, very close to letting it live. Make sure you don't rush when you're ahead. You played really, really good. You don't want to rush it and accidentally let them live. Yeah, you just crushed this person though. Nice game. All right, Q&As. Q&A before the lesson. Yeah, that was a lot of influence. Any questions that I can answer? I had to recommend one book for total beginners. I wouldn't recommend a book for total beginners. I would recommend my Classy Bridge series. However, after you are past the basics of the 13 by 13, I recommend the Elementary Go series. It is a series. It's not just one book, but they're all very useful. This stuff got me from like 18Q to single digit Q. Which rank is the Hugglebot? Which bot is the Hugglebot? Is that that's the it's one of the campaign bots. I forget which one though. Secret Grove. They're not named. What are their names? I don't remember all of their names. Which bot is it? Icicle Cave. Oh yeah, the Huggle, this Huggle guy, Hug. What rank is he? Let me check his brain. Hatter. I gotta check which AI brain he has. OGS bots, option sets, OGS bots. Hatter. Pattern. And then ID. Tenkyu. It is Tenkyu. Huggle is Tenkyu. It was AQ at one point. Does it give you handicap? Yeah, you have handicap though. Hopefully it's beatable though. Hopefully it's around the right level. I have been debating that in the first 4, I think there probably needs to be another one from 19Q to 10Q. I think there probably needs to be another one because the transitions really fast from 25Q to 10Q. These 3 go very, very quickly. Arguably, I could have 2 more from Goblin Camp to Icicle Cave. I could have 2 more in there. Right now, lately, what I've been doing is working on the sets that you see in the campaign. So right now I'm making a bunch of sets, and then I'm going to go through. So I have like 3 space I, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 4 space I, 1 and 2, 5 space I, 1, 2, 3, capture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like I'm making all these sets, and this is like very manual. And then once I get the sets made, I was thinking about going through and like organizing it again. I'm going through another iteration. And then I was thinking maybe I could add another, if I have enough sets, maybe add another stage. Who did the designs of Mega Dragon? I did. I did it all. These are, I am subscribed to an art library. So if you're wondering about where I get the art, it's from canva.com. And then I make stuff from the art there. I subscribe to canva.com to get access to their library. Yeah, Canva's great. If there's a Dawn player that wants to help me, I need someone to come up with sets for the Dawn level because I can't, because that's my level. I don't know what I need to work on. I need someone strong enough to come up with the Dawn stuff. I need to work through Void Planet. This is like homework for me. Okay, actually, I have a lesson, so let me get to that. It is right now, right? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
No spreadsheet today. I have not willingly played a game since February the 4th. I played 2 NAOL games because, of course, I'm an NAOL and I had to play them. But since I got sick on the 4th, I just have had no desire to play. I've been doing a lot of Tsumigo, though, and I will get back to playing. I'm signed up for the next NAOL, and I will start to play more games. I just have to get back in the mood.
Yeah, gotta build up that groove. The hardest thing is starting it, but once you start it, it's just a matter of keeping up the same habits.
Right. Yeah, I was in your stream for about 15 minutes, so I saw you talking about Tsumigo Dragon.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be using today.
Cool. Okay. What are we wanting to look at?
What we want is all problems at level 4.
Okay. Categories. Before all. All right.
All right. Okay, let's see. Um, well, it's not R18.
Well, do you remember what we start with first? What our
Um,
the habits are?
well, trying to figure out what the goal is, and obviously, I think, and the goal here is for Black to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so Black needs to make 2 eyes here somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, oh, wait, I think I know. If Black plays Q18, then they can come, after White plays P19, they can come back and play S18.
Okay. Is there any counter to that?
Well, okay, so if Black plays Q18 and White plays S18, then Black can take at P19, but then I'm lost, so I'm not sure.
Okay. So let's play it out. So you said here, and then if you do this, it does make life.
Right.
So we know that White wants to try to counter it. So White's going to try to counter it, and then we play this. All right. Is there any issue?
And it's well, wait a second. There is an issue because White can play R18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's bad.
Yeah, that is the problem with that one.
Okay. All right. So,
do you know why P19 is the answer? Because that's the first move we should consider.
yeah, I do not know why it's the answer. Okay, so, all right, so if Black plays P19, well, the answer that was made was R18, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then Black can take, but then we're back to the same position, aren't we?
Exactly.
So, so that Black has to do something other than take. So, if
Okay, what are our vital points usually?
1, 2, and 2, 1 points in the corner are pretty vital.
Yeah, the 1-2 points and tiger's mouths.
And tiger's mouths. So, oh, and by the way, there will be coughing.
Okay,
So,
no worries.
sorry about that. Okay, so basically, what we've got is White playing at P9, sorry, Black playing at P19, White answers at R18. So Black could extend to S19. And like, there's not going to be a crush here because there's too many stones on the outside, so that's not an option.
But you kind of end up in the same shape that keeps killing you.
Yeah, okay. I'm not seeing it.
Okay. So we go right here.
Oh, that's what and that's wrong. Okay, so then white gets to play there.
And it's a
Okay.
snapback.
Okay, so then I guess black is going to have to play at S18, but then white can take.
White takes.
Okay, so let's see. There's not much left. So P19.
There's actually only one more vital point to go.
Q18?
Nope, that's the one of the first ones you tried.
Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry. Oh, P19, R18. Well, T19 is the only move left.
That's the 1-1 point. That's not a tiger's mouth.
Yeah, I know. It's not vital, but I'm not seeing another point. I'm not seeing another unoccupied point.
Okay, so we've tried this one. We've tried this one. We've tried this one. And this one just doesn't work. So there's 2 spots left.
Oh. Okay. So, but R18 is already occupied by a white stone.
I'm talking about the first move.
Oh, the first move. Oh, okay. I thought we were still working with P19 and R18.
Oh, no.
As the first 2 moves.
If we do this, then everything fails.
Okay, fine. So then P19 doesn't work because R18 finishes it. Okay. So then, well, my first thought was R18, but I thought that didn't work because if white plays P19, there was no way to make 2 eyes out of what was left in the corner. So it's got to be S18.
Okay. S18, then what's white's response?
S18. R18.
That's just a Salvatore, so you just capture it.
No. Oh, okay. So P19.
And then what's next? Just make an eye.
T19.
That works, but technically there's a better move.
Oh, okay. So Q18. Right. Okay.
Turn that off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, another one. That's going to be a little tricky.
Oh, yeah. These level 4 problems are tough.
So what's the first thing we look at?
Well, what we're trying to do, which is to kill white. And we have to reduce the eye space. And I think that B14 isn't enough. I think we have to go to B15.
Okay. Do you know why B14 isn't enough?
Because if white's going to have too much space, I think, after they play B15. But then black can play A15 and I don't know.
So the way you want to try to attempt this is you want to play it like this in your head, and then when you want to say they block, and then you have to fix, otherwise you get an eye, right?
Right.
And then all you have to do is just see what the shape is. You don't have to read any further than this. You just say, is this alive or
Okay.
dead?
Well, it's going to be a co, right?
Not in this case.
No.
Don't forget the double Atari.
Ah, yeah, it's a crush.
Right.
Right. Unless black plays, give me coordinates. Okay, unless black plays C14, and white answers,
Right
and
now,
then
it's a
there's no
co.
crush, right?
Right now, it's a co.
Yeah.
But we can do better than that, I think.
Okay, so so B15.
Okay, and then what does white do?
B14,
Okay. White tries to cut off.
and
It's
then
fine.
black B16.
And what do you notice?
Okay, let's see. Okay, after white connects, white has 2 liberties and black has 2 liberties.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So then black's ahead in the capturing race,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
it's
black
a
can
ladder.
capture.
Yeah, it's just a ladder.
Okay.
All right, so white tried to cut you off and failed. So white's going to resist a different way. You play B15, and white's going to try to probably connect and expand their ice space.
Right, which would be B16. So, all right, so then black has to pull back
Mm-hmm.
at B14. And then black can reduce from the outside at C19.
It's white's turn.
Oh, sorry, it's white's turn. Okay, so
black pulls back. White tries to expand the ice space here or here. There's 2 ways to do it.
okay. All right. So C19, I guess, for white.
Mm-hmm.
So A18.
Then you get the A19 thing again.
Okay.
So it's the same thing. We want to reduce first. So here, 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 C19. We have 2 stones right here. So let's reduce it first. White blocks. How many spaces are in here?
Oh, there's, let's see, black hasn't reduced at C19 yet, right?
White, we gave white C19. Remember here,
Oh,
here,
okay.
here, white C19.
So there's 3. So we play A19.
Correct. So that means it's dead, not alive.
Right. It's 3.
We only have
Event
one
3.
more thing for white to check. We reduce, white connects, we pull back. What if white plays A16 then to build their ice space?
White plays A16. Then we play C19.
Mm-hmm.
They respond at B19, and we play A18.
Yep, because it's 3 in a row, we play A18.
Right.
Easy peasy.
Nice.
This one's kind of funny looking.
Well,
This one just looks funny.
E18.
Okay, then what's white's response?
D19.
Okay.
And then
You don't
B18.
Yeah, you don't have to read further than that because it's a bulky 5.
Right.
So can't D19. We block
Okay, so all right, so then they B18.
B18, and then
Yeah. Okay, so black E18, white B18. Uh, hmm. Oh, well, G19, but then it's a ko.
good reading.
Okay.
92 people messed up this problem, and I think it's because they didn't see the ko.
Right. You know, this is funny because yesterday I had an hour and a half lesson with Ben, and we did exactly what we're doing right now.
Mhm.
And he concluded the lesson by telling me that my weak point was that I was missing ko. Because I did in a number of the problems I missed ko. So
Interesting.
hopefully my eyes are open to ko.
Yeah, hopefully, because you did see this one just fine. I actually was surprised that you saw this one.
Well, it's because I couldn't see anything else. You know, it was like there. At first, I thought, oh well, gee, does it do anything if I play at C19? And I said, no, of course it doesn't. So it has to be a ko.
Mhm. Okay, so can we do better than a ko?
Did I wanted to do better than a ko.
Yeah, always doubt the ko.
I know. Yeah, I didn't go with a ko until I thought I had to.
Yeah, let's see if we can find something better than a ko. If not, then we'll go
Oh,
with a ko.
is there something? Oh, better than a ko? Well, let me think. Okay. Well, starting with E18, unless I have to start with something else in order to be better than
I
a ko.
don't think there's any response better than E18, B18, D19.
Okay, right. E18, B18, D19.
And then ko is the
Well,
only option, right?
yeah, it seems to be.
Right. So there
I don't
can't
think there's
be
anything else.
anything better than that for the E18 move. Is there a better first move?
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, the first thing I would look
Maybe.
at is their vital point is my vital point.
Right, exactly. So B18 would be a possible starting point.
Okay.
Okay, so if black does B18, white, let's see. White has to probably play C18 because otherwise black can play C18, and then if white answers at A18, black will take 4 stones. So if black plays B18, the question is, does white get to play anything other than C18? And if they play C19, no, that doesn't do anything. I think they have to play C18. So if black plays B18, white plays C18, and black plays E18. I don't see how white's going to get 2 eyes.
Well, white's going to try to expand the eye space at D19.
Okay, instead of after. Okay.
So we play here.
Yeah.
White connects. We
Right.
stop the expansion of the eye space, and white
Okay, and
tries
then-
to block the eye space.
Okay, right. So black plays A18.
No, that's a Salvatore.
No. Oh, I don't know.
You're very close. We play here, 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 Do you see it now?
Oh, yes. B19.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very close.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
that's nice.
try to picture it before we move on, and then we'll move on.
Okay. Okay. All right.
The tricky thing is that ko. The A19 stone creates the ko. That's
Right.
the tricky. This is a tricky little problem or sneaky little problem. Okay, this one looks a bit easier.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, C1.
Okay. The only option is to take the stone, right?
Right.
With whites and
And
Atari.
then F1.
Then I capture the C1 stone.
Oh. Hmm. Um, B1.
So you play B1 and white plays C1.
Uh,
That's mutual life.
yeah, I guess. B2.
Okay, white's an Atari, so white has to descend to C1.
Okay. Okay. I'm not seeing it.
All right, let's get a hint. What category is it? This is not endgame. This is I versus no I.
That is so funny.
I don't know who marked it as endgame, but this is definitely not endgame.
No. Okay, so this is I versus no I, huh? Um, hmm. So I'm not seeing how we're getting an I here unless it's uh that I play B2 and they go down. But if I go down, then I just get captured. So that doesn't do any good. So so
So first off, where can you make an I?
I don't see how black can make an I. I mean, I tried B1, but that doesn't do it.
Well, B1 makes an
And
I, but white plays
well,
C1 and it's
yeah,
I versus I.
well then white's going to have the I.
Right. So we need to take away white's I while keeping our I.
Well, I played C1 at
Mm-hmm.
first,
You played C1 and
thinking
they
that,
take.
yeah, I played C1 and they take. And then I played F1 and then they took at B1.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. You're going to have to help me here.
So C1 they take, and then you make the I at B1.
Oh, okay. C1, they take, and then I make the I at B1. Okay.
And you notice
All
how
right.
this is a false I now?
True.
Because you have two
True.
of the four corners.
Okay, fine. All right.
So this Atari's, and then
And then, yes, right. You know, it's so funny. Because like 2 stones on the board, sure, I can see that it's B1, you know, but I
Mhm.
can't do it without those 2 stones on the board. But I would have seen it at that point.
Right. I think the tricky
And
part
like,
is the tricky part here is noticing to make it a false I.
right,
Because
which
you
is why I
find this
played,
one just fine. But
yeah,
yeah, you
which
have to
is
make
why
this
I
a false I.
played C1 in the first place, because it seemed like, you know, it jumped out as an important point. But yeah, but then not actually being able to visualize the capture made me not be able to visualize the extension.
Mhm. I might have to level this one up because
I think so.
I think it's simple, but apparently, oh no, I'm not going to because it's 27-9. So
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
fine.
So it's something I'm not seeing.
Yeah, because it looks like it's solved 27 times, mistake 9 times. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was up to
But you
2250.
know, I'd be willing to bet. The reason it got solved 27 times is because people threw the stone down at C1 and they saw the capture at D1 and
Yeah,
then
that's
they saw
the.
the extension. Okay, so they don't have somebody standing over them with a whip saying, you can't put the stones on the board
Yeah,
until you've solved the problem. That's the problem.
yeah. There's a lot of people who solve problems by placing the stones and then clicking through it instead of just seeing the result in advance.
Right. And of course, I try to read it through. But
Mhm.
if it's a hard problem and I haven't read it through, I will also do that. You know,
Mhm.
people do. So,
This one's a very classic shape. Make an eye.
oh, okay.
Go ahead and zoom this in a little bit.
Now we already have an eye at, well, actually, we've pretty much got an eye at F15, I guess. So we're going to need to make an eye at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I play C19, white's going to play E19.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, let's see if I play C19 and they play E19, and if I throw in a 18 and they take, then I can play B19 and they can't connect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is there any counter in there? Is there anything white does different?
Mm, I don't I don't know.
I think every move's pretty forced. Any move that white changes, you make an eye.
Yeah.
So if we go
Okay.
here, white has to.
Oh
White.
yes. And then I play there, of course.
Right.
So the, is what I said one of the things that show up in your variations, or
It looks like this one only showed the best move for white and got the answer, but I think it's important to show that this one is the actual answer. So I'm gonna add a correct. That way, when people explore it, they'll see this one as well. But yeah, this is a classic shape that if they connect, you just take.
right?
I'm surprised It's 2130. This means that more people at this level have missed it than solved it. So it was working its way up to 4Q. That's interesting.
Okay.
I think this one is one of those shapes. If you know the pattern or the tactic, I think it's very easy to solve. But if you don't, if you've never seen it before, then it'd be very difficult.
Yeah. Well, I kind of knew that I had to have some kind of forcing move, or some kind of like trick, and then there was 2 cutting points, so I figured it out.
I don't think anyone uses this voting system.
I've used it on occasion, but not very much, and like I don't want to use it if I don't want to give my opinion if my opinion's actually going to change it if I don't know I'm right, so I would be careful about it. All right.
The heck?
Hmm. Huh.
Okay.
Well, okay, so if hmm,
Yeah. Yes. Okay. There's literally one place to play. Everything else fails, and it's like really confusing because it's like,
okay, so I'm trying to think it through. Now, obviously, if I play G13, white doesn't want to play J13 and let me capture all the stones. So they're going to do something else if I do that. And if white takes, let's see, if black, okay, so do I even want to start that way? So if black plays at N10, then white takes 2 black stones, and they're alive. So N10 isn't any good. So, but if I play N13, then a white stone comes off, and then a white stone goes down, and white has an eye. And
that's what makes it so tricky. Literally nothing on the right works. Like everything just creates an eye.
So I guess I have to start at G 13.
Okay, and then white, of course, takes the stones in the corner. Because Self-Atari's
Right.
bad.
And then I take the stone, and it's a ko.
Literally, everything over here, white just lives. But yeah, this is the only thing to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what made it kind of funny looking. It was like, oh, there's everything fails except for one move, so it has to be the answer. There is no doubting that ko. Literally everything else fails.
Right.
Okay, this one is shape.
All right.
Shapey
There's
shape.
okay. Black 2 stones have 3 liberties. This is looking very crane's nesty. Now,
Well, these are also
And
single-digit Q problems, Cyclone. So it's okay to struggle.
right, I am struggling.
Well, there's 16 Q. They're struggling, so it's okay.
Yeah. Oh well, they're really tough. You know, some of the level 3 problems are tough. Okay, I'm trying to imagine what happens if I throw in at Q14. So if black throws in, then white takes. Oh, sure, it is crane's nesty. Black throws in at Q14, white takes at, oh, but wait a second. I can't play at P13, so that's not good. Yeah, no good. Maybe there's a wedge involved. If black plays P13, white can't play P14. So, You're
on the right track that it looks crane's nesty.
Yeah, right. It looks very crane's nesty. Okay. If black plays Q12, then white is just going to, then white's just going to make a bamboo joint. So, I don't know. Can you give me a hint?
All right, let's see what the hint is.
Okay, so I was on the right track there. All right, so it is P13. And okay, so if I play P13, white can't play P14. So white plays Q12 and black then throws in at Q14.
And that's the crane's nest.
Right. Oh, so they did that. Okay,
This is
now
just
we
another way to respond.
Right, so then we just P14. Yeah, it's crane's nesty. So it's a vital wedge. Oh, somebody called this capture? It's vital wedge.
Yeah, it's absolutely vital wedge. And this is the only response to the problem.
You got to train your editors better.
I'm trying. I'm trying. They have a lot of strong opinions.
I bet they do.
I'm hesitant to just be like, you're fired, you know?
No, you can't do that because you need their help.
I know. But there's some very strong opinions on some of these.
Yeah. I'm totally fascinated with the category hierarchy, you know?
Yeah, it's like the main feature of the site, so it's very important that it's correct, but then people have opinions.
Right. I think Ben dropped you a couple of opinions during our lesson yesterday.
Okay. Did he report the problem or did he put it on the feed?
What he did was he put them in the comments.
Gotcha. I saw he did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in the last week or so. Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Wedge,
He
let's
did
say
some
that.
yesterday.
Yeah, Vital Wedge. That's what we're gonna do. I would have to look. I haven't created a button to show me which editors. I have to look in the database, but I think I need to create a button that'll show me which editors edited last. Because technically in the database, it's tracking like who was the last one to edit the problem. But
Yeah.
I don't have a button to just show that magically. I need to create myself a button, like an admin button that'll say this person edited it last. And then we can see like,
Yeah.
is there a common denominator of people messing up the categories? Okay. So my immediate thought is 1, 2, 3 for the liberties. So
Yeah. 3 liberties for black. So black needs to capture something. Well, black needs to win the race on the longer chain of stones somehow.
this can be like
So-
a reading visualization problem, honestly, which I know is not something you enjoy.
Well, aren't they all?
Do you know the concept of certain eye sizes have certain amount of liberties?
Yes, I do. And I'm not really sure exactly. I haven't totally memorized it, but I know
Isn't it
that
kind of the same
when
concept?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So basically what we want to do is make sure that their eye size is as small as possible. So J12. No, wait. Sorry, that we want our eye size as big as possible because we don't want them to
We're
capture
black.
us. So we need to make our eye size inside of their area big. So
Huh?
if we play J12, are they going to have to play H? No, they're not.
Well, H11 is the only response because everything else is a Salvatore.
Right. But I guess it would be better to play H11. So black plays H11 and white plays J12. And then
Wait, you played J12
black
first.
Well, wait a second. I want to start over with black H11.
Okay.
Okay,
is starting from
H11.
the outside first, which is what our habits say we're supposed to do.
Right. So black plays H11. White plays J12.
Mm-hmm.
Black plays J13. White takes at L12. Black plays K13, which is the vital point. And I think they're behind now.
How many liberties do they have?
Okay, so they have 2 liberties.
Mm-hmm.
White has 2 liberties. Black has 3 liberties. So even if white plays L9 now, black will put another stone in there and they'll take.
Mm-hmm.
And then black will throw another stone in. And if they take, then there's only 1 liberty left and black throws in there.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yep.
Yep.
And then it's 2
Yay.
liberties and 3 liberties. If you play right here and where it connects, when you go
It'll
to
be a bigger eye.
yeah, when you go to
it'll be a
capture it,
bigger
it'll be
eye.
4 instead of 3. So when you play
Yeah,
inside,
yeah.
it'll be 3 liberties.
Right, which I realized, and which is why I changed my mind on the first move.
Yeah, start from the outside first.
Right.
Oh, this one's
Okay.
tricky.
All right. Well, if we start from the outside at A15, then white can simply play B18 and be completely alive, I think. Yeah. So, and if black were to play B19, then white would extend to A18, but then black could play B18. So there's something about B18 as a starting point that appeals to me somehow. And I can't quite explain why.
You just
But
have good instincts from doing Go problems.
what?
You have good instincts
Yeah.
from doing Go problems.
Yeah, and of course, it was the first thing I thought when I looked at it. I looked at this and I said, I want to play B18, but I'm not sure why.
You're supposed to see A15 first and be like, A15 doesn't work. What's the next move?
Yeah, well, I went through that process after I wasn't sure why. So, okay. So, yeah, let's do B18.
And then?
Okay, so if we do B18, then if white plays B19, we take 2 stones.
Right.
So, I suppose white will play A18.
Mm-hmm. And then?
And then, say B18, A18. And I guess we can then play B17 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white stones are an Atari.
Mm-hmm. So white can't do that.
Okay. So we play B18 and I don't know what white does.
White has to connect to B17, otherwise they got an Atari.
Okay. So play B18. And did you say white plays B17?
Yeah, if you white does anything else, you're going to put white into Atari by putting these 2 stones here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So
Okay,
white has to connect right here.
so black plays B18, white connect, and black plays A18.
Mm-hmm. And continue.
Okay.
This problem's
B8.
tricky and long.
B18. So B18, B17, A18. I don't know. I can't see it. This is beyond my
Yeah,
reading.
it's really long.
Oh, and now we, let's see. I guess we have to play A15.
If we do that, then white just captures the 2 stones.
Okay, so then I guess we don't have a choice but to capture the 1 stone. And then white cannot approach at D19. Right. Okay, what's the category? Taking eyes.
Eye versus no eye.
Okay. You know how we can clean up Sumigo Dragon? You and I meet every week and do problems until we've done them all.
I'm wanting to leave it on and just like start clicking through, and just see if it's right or not.
You know, the thing is, if you can like read it in a couple of seconds, which you probably can, you probably would be able to do that.
Yeah. This one's good habits. I think this will be really hard if you have bad habits.
Okay, so then that tells me that the first move is F19.
Maybe.
Yeah. So if black plays F19 and white plays E19 to maximize eye space, and black plays C19 and white can't approach at C18.
You're missing something.
Okay. All right. F19, E19. Oh, there's 2. Okay. F19, E19. Okay, I'm not seeing it.
F19, E19, C18.
Okay, C18. All right. So F19, E19, C18.
How many liberties
And
does white
then, okay, F19, E19, 1. And, okay, and black isn't in Atari, and if white connects, white still only has 1 liberty. So it's shortage of liberties. Right?
No, because
or connect and die.
If we play F19 and white responds E19, we see that C18 works. So white's going to play something else.
Okay, so white's not going to play E19. Okay, so F19. C18.
Okay.
But then black can play E19. And okay, so it was F19, C18, right? And then E19. White's got 2 liberties. But if they play at D19 now, they've taken away one of their liberties. It's
Mhm.
self-Atari.
Mhm.
So playing at C18 didn't work because Black could play at E19.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does White have any other response?
C. Well, F19, C19. And still E19 for Black.
Mhm.
And there's White's not getting two eyes out of this.
Mhm. Yeah,
So F19 is the first
literally,
move.
the answer is reduce the outside, reduce the outside, reduce the outside. Because every single step, if White blocks it, then you Atari it. So White has to go here. If White blocks it, it's a sub Atari. So White has to go there. And now White can't block anything because it's only one eye.
Right.
So yeah, the answer is literally push, push, push.
Nice.
This one, I don't know. I think this one's simple, but
Okay. Well, if Black plays 19 and White block, Black doesn't have to answer at N13, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eye spaces left. And it's so if Black plays H12 and White answers at J13 and Black plays M13, then White gets a second eye at L13. So I don't see what's easy about this.
you're gonna it's one of those, like, if you don't see it, it's really hard, but if you see it, you're like, I'm so silly. How did I not notice that?
Okay. Well, the thing that I'm looking at right now is there's a area on the left of the white stones that's very bulky 5-ish.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could play at J12, but then White just blocks at J13, so that doesn't yield much results. But then I can play at H12, and then White has to play K13, and then I can play M13.
Mm-hmm. Can White counter anything?
Okay, so I play at J12, and White plays at H12. And then Black plays at K13. And I don't know. Okay, so H12 is the correct first move. So H12, and I would think that white would answer at J13. So J13. And now how do we destroy the other eye? I don't see how to destroy the other eye.
You ready?
Okay.
Atari.
Oh, that's how. Okay, got it.
So once you see it, it's really simple because you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, just Atari it. But if you don't
Right.
notice the Atari, it's like, this is impossibly big.
Okay. Okay, here's another instance where I just needed to see the response on the board. Because then I see that I can Atari it.
Yeah. The
But
trick
without
though
the
is
stone on the board.
if you go right here, I can go right here.
But then black can at L13.
Yep,
Oh,
I
but
have
then
choice.
white gets to make two eyes. Okay.
It's also the same reason why starting here doesn't work. Because if you start here and they play like this, they die, right? But they're just going to play right here again.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was like the bulky 5.
Right. Bulky 5-ish.
But if you play the bulky
Okay.
5, they just connect and you're stuck. So the trick is get a
Right.
forcing move and then play the bulky 5.
Right. Okay, I think we're done.
Yep. Do you want to take a minute to talk about Go Congress?
We can. I am I am on the fence right now. I've paid my registration. I've gotten a hotel room, but I have not yet gotten airfare. And I am very much on the fence about whether I'm going or not.
Is it just because you don't want to play games, or is it because of location?
Well, the location is part of it, and one of the reasons about the location that is part of it is that I want to stay in a hotel, but the hotel is more than an hour. The hotel is more than a mile away. Okay,
Oh, so you can't walk.
and I'm at the hotel. It's more than a mile away. It's quite a walk. I'm not sure whether there's going to be what kind of transportation is going to be available in the way of a bus or whatever. And maybe as I find out about that, it'll help. But the other thing is that my husband has Parkinson's disease. And usually his daughter comes and spends some time with him while I'm at the Congress. But his daughter is not coming this year, which means that he would be by himself for a whole week.
That's important.
Right. Yeah. And then there's a third factor, which is that with the planes falling from the air and Mr. Trump in charge of the nation, I am not so sure I want to get on a plane.
I think the odds of a plane crashing are like really, really low.
They are low.
It's like you're more likely to get in a car accident than a plane crash. Like a
Well,
lot, significantly more likely to get in a car crash than a plane crash. Like when it happens, it's horrible,
that.
right? And living from it is quite difficult. The odds of living from it, depending on how bad it is. But the odds of it happening are significantly lower than a car crash.
Yeah, I might end up going anyway. It's just a matter of me determining if my husband's going to be able to tolerate it. It's not as if he can't do it. He can, but the emotional stress of me being gone, it contributes to the situation.
I will say if it would make the flight less stressful, plane crashes happen on takeoff and on landing. So once you're in the air, it's pretty smooth sailing.
Right. Yeah.
But so when they take off, you just like buckle up, and you're probably going to be okay. And then when you're in the air, you're almost guaranteed to be okay. And then when they're landing, you just buckle up, and you're probably going to be okay, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I realize that. Um,
Yeah, it's one of those things that like TV makes it so scary, but it's really only scary one in like a bajillion times. But the majority of the time, like it's incredibly safe. They put
yeah.
billions and billions of dollars into the safety of that.
So, what did you want to talk about the Congress about?
I wanted to know what is your favorite Congress, or what is some favorite memories of Congress that you have?
Okay. Well, I think that I really liked the Congresses in North Carolina at the I can't remember what it's called, but it's a resort.
Was that the one with the really,
They,
really steep hill?
no, no. When you say steep hill, I don't think they had a steep hill at that Congress. The steep walking I remember was at Georgetown University, where all the stairs and uh, you had to walk a lot and going up a lot of steps. I
Mm.
think um, so. Those two Congresses were nice.
Uh, do you know about
You
the?
say,
I know you mentioned that you really liked the kids versus adults.
oh yeah, that was nice. The Baum tournament, and yeah, the kids were coming up to me asking for games. I think I played 6 Baum tournament games.
Yeah, they're pushing that again this year. I think they're going to be pushing kids to do that even more this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Someone asked, besides tournaments and lectures, do people play casual games?
Oh
There's a
yeah, a
lot of
lot.
self pair. Like there's an entire tournament for self pair. Do you play a lot of self pair?
Well, if I do, it's non-rated.
Yeah, that is optional. I don't play a lot of
Yeah.
self pair, mostly because the morning just is so exhausting for me. That 3 hour game is so exhausting that I don't really have the energy for a self pair. But I do attend
Yeah.
the lectures and get game reviews, and then a lot of people play self pair throughout the week. And then there's like the prize for the most self pair games or the most wins as well.
Yeah. My favorite thing at the Congress is Pergo.
Oh yeah, there was also Pergo. Did I tell you about what I did Pergo with my with Jenny Shen, my teacher?
Oh, I think you may have mentioned it.
So she was the opponent, right? So I asked her if she wanted to do Pergo, and she said no because she had another student that was also already doing Pergo. But her friend Anna was also a pro, and so I knew her as well because she lived in Tennessee. And so she and I played Pergo, and that was one of the worst decisions I've ever made because
Really? Why?
we ended up getting paired. So I had the Anna, which was a teacher, kind of, and then Jenny, who was my teacher, and then I was the weaker person, and so I had two people that were my teachers judging me at the same time, and I had an audible like what to one of my moves.
Oh,
I was like, I'm sorry, that was clearly the wrong move. I don't know why it was wrong, but it was clearly wrong. And then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that was pretty dumb now that I'm thinking about it. That was a pretty bad move. I totally hallucinated something that did not exist. But we ended up still winning by half a point, and it was great. And the other student, who was also a student of Jenny, kind of got ran through the ringer. So maybe it was a good thing that I didn't get it accepted as her Parago. So playing Parago with your teacher is probably pretty stressful, depending on who it is.
so Ben and I played Pergo, and that was last year, and it went very well. We won one game and we lost one game, but we had a lot of fun. And Guru Jeet and I have played Pergo a number of times, um, and that's nice. We play
Mhm.
well because we're relatively close in rank.
Mhm.
He's about 2 or 3 stones stronger than I am.
Yeah, I always found Pergo or Rengo in general stressful because it's always like you're either the strong one, you're like, how do I make up for this bad move? Or you're the weaker one, like, I'm so sorry, he's going to yell at me so much. I've always found it stressful, but people enjoy it apparently.
Oh, I don't stress over it at all. It's just fun. And like, I don't want to play with anybody who takes it too seriously.
I'm more worried that I'm going to get like yelled at by the stronger player. But
Well,
I think it's quite fun though. Then you have the Don Pergo people.
yeah. Oh, and then there's simul games. Simul games are a lot of fun.
Were you able to play against Park Jong-won?
Um, no, I played against Yilin Yang not last year, but maybe 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I didn't. I wanted to play Park Jong-won, but it filled up like immediately because you know how my game takes 3 hours or whatever. So by the time my game was done, it was full.
Right.
So I never really had the time to play. And also I had to do the teaching stuff as well and then help out with the stream stuff. So I really wanted to play on, but I never got the time to, unfortunately. One of my Go Club members got to play on though. I think the strongest person I have ever played is probably Blackie from Biba. And he's a Korean 9-Dan pro. And
Wow.
there's something about the 9-Dan Asian pros that make their moves seem like so much more perfect than our moves. Like you can already tell like the difference between yourself and a pro, but the difference between like yourself and an Asian 9-Dan pro is insane.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to fathom how good they are.
Yeah. Well, you know what the best thing about the Congress is? Getting together with people that you've met online and, you know, meeting them maybe for the first time, getting together with them year after year after you get to know them.
Yeah.
So I
Definitely
like,
meeting up with old friends or whatever. I feel like there's people that I only see at Go Congress that are like, hey, how was your year? How was your
you
yesteryear?
know, last year, I think that BenQ League had maybe 13, 12 or 13 people at the Congress, which was pretty cool. That's a lot of people.
I wonder, I'm actually excited to see how many people will be like, I'm using Sumega Dragon at Congress this year. Because now it's
Oh,
gotten a lot more popular than what it was last year or even the year before. So
yeah.
hopefully I'll hear a lot about people at Congress be like, hey, I like Sumega Dragon. I'm hoping to hear that a lot because it'll make me feel so much better about the thousands and thousands of hours that I've put into this website.
Right. So, is your membership increasing?
It's stationary right now, so I'm getting new subscribers, but I'm also losing subscribers. So I'm at like a stationary point where it's not growing, but it's not decreasing, and I have to
Well,
figure
that's
out.
good.
Well, yeah, it's definitely it could be worse, but I still have to figure out a way to do the marketing better, and raise that. But I've been so busy on getting sponsored by other people that I can't advertise the Mega Dragon. And I want to advertise the Mega Dragon, but also like getting paid. So it's a kind of funny problem to have.
Yeah. So, it's hard to pick a favorite Go Congress. Like I said, I like the North
Mm.
Carolina, but New York City was really nice. Um, and Boston was really nice. And I've been to more than 20 Go Congresses now. So,
Do you keep the badges of all of them?
no, I, I used to save a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to declutter.
Yeah.
So I don't save all the badges, but the badges would have been a good thing to save because I don't take that much room.
Hmm. I had a badge with all my badges, but I don't know where it is anymore. It's somewhere in storage, and I lost it. So at some point,
Oh,
I'm gonna
you
have to
mean
find it.
the pins? Do I keep the pins?
Yeah, the pins.
I keep the pins, but I don't wear them.
Hmm.
Um, and in fact, I'm not 100% sure where they all are, but I've got quite a few pins.
Yeah, I had a lot of pins, and then I had them all on a single badge that I would just take with me every year. But I ended up losing it in storage somewhere. And so
Oh
I'm,
no, that's
yeah,
terrible.
I'm really sad. I was like adding up a bunch of pins. I had like 5 or 6 at one point, and then I lost it. But I think I'm getting closer to 10. I don't think I'm at 10 yet, though. I think this one put me at like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
But
my first Congress was 1997. It was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
well, I don't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to do that because Go Congress is sponsoring today's stream, and I thought it would be very nice to hear from someone besides me who to talk about Congress. So it is appreciated for you to take a few minutes to.
This is great. Congress is great, and I encourage people to go, regardless of how strong they are. I was 19Q at my first Congress.
Yeah, we have like people who just learned the rules going to Congress, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that's great.
Well, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully, you enjoyed the lesson, and I will see you
Okay.
next time.
Thank you very much.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night. Cyclone, to answer your question, it sounds like you're you're kind of coming down from your high, if that makes sense. You're excited about a new thing, you're playing thing, and you go like 150%. But we can't do 150% forever, right? We're gonna get burnt out, and then when you get burnt out, you're like, I don't want to do it at all. So the idea is you're getting close to burnout, and you're just like, okay, let's bring that back a little bit and make sure you give yourself breaks and stuff. So obviously, you still want to play games, but you want to make it more of a discipline than relying on excitement. You want to rely more on, I like this thing, and I'm going to be disciplined about doing it, rather than relying fully on, this is a new shiny cool toy, and I'm going to play with it until it's completely burnt out, and then I'm going to be done with it and never touch it again. But yeah, it's just a matter of converting it from like super, super happy, excited to, I like doing this thing, and I'm going to keep doing it as my hobby. It's that conversion that you have to be careful with, because otherwise you can burn out very quickly. Taking it seriously is fine, but also don't take it too seriously. It is a game. Take it about as serious as you would a video game. I think it's important to put in effort, but it's not important to put in so much effort that you don't play. If you put in so much effort that the game becomes stressful, put in less effort. Lower the time settings or something. You're doing it too hardcore, and at that point, it's not fun. Like, don't do what I'm doing and make it your job, because I will say I enjoy Go a lot less when it became work versus when it was just me improving and I didn't have to worry about paying the bills or anything like that. It was just, I get on KGS and would play games and talk with friends. It was a lot more fun back then. I still like my job, like I wouldn't change it. But once you convert it into work, it's a lot less fun. So I will say, just make sure it doesn't come work. It's just a hobby. It's just a game. Have fun, enjoy it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't make it your day job. I wouldn't recommend it. There was this kid on Reddit, and we had to shut him down. I felt so bad. He was like, how do I convince, I'm a 17-year-old high schooler. How do I convince my dad to let me study Go as a career, make Go my career so I can study Go full time? And we all had to be like, please do not do that. And I was like, as someone whose career is Go, I cannot encourage this behavior. I feel so bad, but like this is not a good career if you compare it to like any other main career. I was like, this is not very lucrative, and if it wasn't for me being addicted to the game, I don't think I would do it. I would not do this again, knowing what I know. If it wasn't already something that I'm just addicted to, and I'm working on some Mega Dragon and everything else. I think if I wanted to do something that would be more lucrative, it'd probably be game design. That is another passion that I think if I had more time to do, I think I would do. I've I've gone through a lot of tutorials for game design and stuff. And understanding like what makes games fun and all that stuff. But unfortunately, don't have the time to make that a secondary job. It would be nice to have another source of income, but it's too many hours to dedicate with not a lot of guaranteed return. So I'm going to keep focusing on Sumego Dragon and my lessons. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. We are doing a guided raid today, so we will be raiding someone who I do not know who it is. This person right here.
I really hate dying.
I really hate ads. Yeah, we will watch them play, and they are playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today, found it educational, and with that, I will see you guys next time.